Welcome into the Student Athlete Spotlight presented by the Woodward. Today we have Ian Kovatch. Ian, how are we doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. So tell me about your athletic experience here at Marywood. Some of the sports you've participated in and just your overall experience.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I'm a third-year junior from Archbold, Pennsylvania, which is about 20 minutes north of here. I went to Valley View High School, which is a big sports school. I kind of tested out all the sports as a kid, and I kind of stuck with cross country and track throughout high school. And I got recruited to go to run for Marywood here. First year with Coach Rob Aarons, and then he left Fort Gannon University. Then Coach Dylan Geringer came in, and he's been the head chef ever since. But it's been a great time.
That's awesome. Before we started the interview, you said that you're playing rugby now. So what kind of, because cross country and track and rugby, not necessarily similar sports, so what kind of prompted you to play rugby?
Sure, yeah, definitely polar opposites, because I feel like track, there's no contact at all, whereas rugby, it's only contact. Like I said, I kind of tested out all the sports, so after a while you tend to miss ball sports. Like I miss playing with a ball. Because oftentimes, like, you're on the start line of a cross-country or track race, you know the kid from Moravian next to you is going to beat you. You know the kid from LaSalle next to you is going to beat you. Like, you looked at their times online, you saw that they're 20, 30 seconds faster than you. You almost give up before the race even starts, just because, difference of athletic abilities at the time. Running's a type of sport where you don't necessarily PR by 30 seconds every race. It's more of a, if you can get 30 seconds in a season, that's incredible. So I think that's really where mentally it kind of took a turn. I missed the ball sport because, as you know, in a ball sport, anything could happen. You can never really count the team out because, miracles happen in ball sports, whereas cross country and track, that's not necessarily the case. You kind of your lane as you're, before the race even starts. So I miss the competitiveness. One of my good friends, Anthony Viscomi, kind of talked me into joining the rugby team.
I saw when you were in high school, when you committed, you originally committed to Juniata.
That's right.
So what prompted you to go there first, and then what ended up being the deciding factor for you to come to Marywood?
You really did do your research. Not too many people know that.
That's my job.
Obviously it was COVID year, my senior year of high school. So when I was kind of choosing the college, I definitely wanted to go away. Like I wanted to get some, maturity, experience, that kind of aspect of moving far away from home, just being on your own. I was really into that idea. And the Juniata coach and we had talked a lot. I went for a couple of visits. I was really trying to get an overnight to kind of, feel the team out, feel campus out to see if it was the place for me. But with COVID and everything, that wasn't really a part of the protocol. So the overnight never happened. And I'll be honest with you, the coach kind of pulled the wool over my eyes a little bit. He made things, seem a little greater than they actually were. But I did enroll to Juniata. I was there for about 4 days. Until I found out that it really wasn't the place for me. Unfortunately, my mom works here, Professor Kovatch in McGowan, so it's free tuition. So I was like, I'll transfer back home to Marywood.
You said that your mom is on staff here. You also have a sister who goes here. Was that kind of a deciding factor on why you came to Marywood?
Yeah, definitely. And honestly, at first, that was one of the reasons that pushed me away. Just because, the Kovatch name at Marywood, I felt like I would just be, oh, and you're Marla's son, you're Elsa's brother. I kind of wanted to invent myself at a different school. So that's what pushed me away at first. But, I came here and I feel like it worked out for the best because a lot of people are like, oh, I know your sister, or your mom's my advisor. It's cool to kind of form relationships that way.
That's awesome. Now, on top of that, while yes, you do have the Kovatch name, you're making a pretty big name for yourself, SGA president. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
I feel like my extracurriculars shouldn't stop, in the classroom or on the athletic fields. I'd like to kind of extend into the kind of the professional, government side of college. I joined SGA, Student Government Association, as the athletics and intramurals rep last year. I'll be honest, I think the only reason I won president was because I put on this basketball league as the athletics rep. That really got my name out there a lot. We had 16 teams, over 200 people there every single Sunday. I remember saying it at the time last year that I genuinely think when I graduate Marywood that it's going to be my favorite thing that I've ever accomplished here because the basketball league was a lot of fun. It actually just started up this past week. The registration link is now out on campus under the direction of Will Kalenich, who's a good buddy of mine. But Yeah, that was a lot of fun. But yeah, anyways, that I spent the first year of SGA doing that, and Austin Miller, who was last year's president, graduated. He's now in law school, and I saw the position open up. I thought it was something that I could be pretty good at and excel with. So I put my name on the ballot, and the rest was history.
Now, stepping away from Marywood, I know that you have a YouTube page. I think you've had it for about 3 years or so. So you have a bunch of different content on there. What kind of sparked you to start that YouTube page?
COVID, honestly. COVID happened. The whole world shut down. We were left with nothing but time. So I kind of filled that space with just watching other people at first, actually. So I was big into Casey Neistat, which I'm sure everybody in this room has heard of. And I just fell in love with the way that he told stories, and it was something that I wanted to try my best to replicate. So at first it was more like experimental, like kind of getting used to the software and cameras and whatnot. And then it really turned into a big passion, from cliff jumping videos to running videos, even documenting the Marywood cross country and track teams on our Instagram page. It really has been a dream come true, and I've definitely invested way too much money into the hobby, but it's a good time, and I learned so much from it. It's definitely not something that I've removed from my life, but I've definitely adjusted my focus onto other things.
So along with YouTube, I saw that you have produced a song.
That's crazy. That is insane.
So you want to talk about that song for a little bit?
I'd love to. That's incredible research. That's quite underground. My best friend in the whole world, Jack Baronsky, who's one of the best runners on the Marywood team here. We went to high school together, grew up together. Now we're at college together. Kind of spending my whole life with them. He got this girlfriend, Abby Marion, God bless her. She goes to Westchester, also a good friend of mine. And he started spending a little bit of time with her, and it didn't really sit with me too well. So right before I went to my summer internship back in May, it was like a farewell Ian party at my friend's house. So I was like, I'm going to surprise all my friends and write a song about Jack leaving us, because Jack was just not hanging out with us at all. And I wrote it in like 45 minutes. I produced the beat, made the lyrics, recorded the song. And then when Jack walked into the party, we all played the song for him. Jack, come back. Yeah, I miss your face. Jack, come back. And it didn't really go over too well. He wasn't a fan of it at first, but now the whole team knows it. We sing it to him every time we see him. And it's something we laugh at now. But I genuinely, making music is very similar to videography with kind of how it all works. And it's definitely, I think it's the next venture for me. I'd like to continue making music. The guys and I in the cross country and track team have talked about making like a joint album. So that's something we're trying to get published by the end of this semester.
I think you guys definitely should. Love to see Tom O'Keefe, one of our Woodward writers, on it. That'd be phenomenal.
Yeah, he's I have him on 2 songs right now. We're still working on getting the verses together, but yeah, 2 songs on the album for DJ Tom.
There you go. Now, I know you have another year after this, but what are some of your post-graduation plans?
Originally, it was medical school, and then I went away this past summer to a summer internship at Dartmouth, and it kind of changed my whole life. Like, it was just me living in kind of New Hampshire there, and it really matured me. It grew me up a lot. And I don't know if medical school is for me, because I'd like to travel in my 20s and see the world, make music, document things with cameras and stuff, kind of revive the YouTube channel a bit. And I know if I were to go to medical school, that wouldn't really be the case. I'd have to make that my whole life. So I think PA school is kind of where physician assistant school is kind of where I'm headed right now. And I think I'll do that either down south in Florida or South Carolina, or out west in like Colorado, Oregon.
Get somewhere a little bit warmer. This northeast weather.
Yeah,
not too nice.
I'm over it by now. I'm sure we all are.
For events for track and cross country, and then for pre-match for rugby, what is your go-to song that you listen to right before you're out there?
Right now, if I had to get on the start line, it's 6:27 right now. If I had to get on at 6:30, I'd do "Fighting My Demons" by Ken Carson.
There you go.
I'm into the whole opium vibe right now with Playboy Cardi and Destroy Lonely, Homicide Gang. Dreams and Nightmares, Meek Mill's great. Classic. Anything by Drake is great. But yeah, I'd go Fighting My Demons, Ken Carson right now.
Alright, and then, again, you still have some time here, but what are you going to miss most about Marywood?
I'd say the people. I think the Marywood people are definitely different than anyone I've ever met. Like I feel like you and I don't know each other too well, but we could absolutely get Chipotle together tonight after this, and you know it would be.
I'm down to get some.
You know, like it would just be like a fluid conversation, and I don't think you could say that about a lot of universities. I think there's some egos that'll get in the way at state schools, and I just don't think we have any of that here. I think it's a very welcoming place.
And thank you for coming on.
Of course.
Experience.
Pleasure to be here.
Some of your music, your YouTube, everything, brother.
It's crazy you know about that.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in to the Athlete Spotlight. Make sure to check out anything the Woodward has at thewoodward.org, and make sure to like and subscribe. For the Woodward, I'm Vincent Goldschmidt.